Hello everyone, this is Anthony with Waterworlds. In today's video, I'm gonna show you what to do to keep your shrimp alive when you go away from your house for over 20 or 25 days. We all know what to do when we are away for the weekend or away for 5-7 days. Just a few pellets, maybe some snowflakes, and it's done. But how are we gonna tackle the issue of going away for a longer period of time? Let's go and see. First of all, guys, I'm not showing you my tanks at the moment, and I just have this white wall because I'm going on annual leave for 24-25 days and I'm kind of preparing some things over there. So to the point, the most important thing to do is to actually find someone to look after your shrimp. You have invested money and time on them. You have to find someone to be able to access your premises and see what's happening in your tanks, feed the shrimp, especially if you have many tanks. Well, some of you might have just one and you're like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna have like an automatic feeder, I'm just gonna put some sticks in there and it's gonna rotate every 12 hours or whatsoever, and that's it pretty much. Yes, you might get away with it, but what if there is like there are sudden deaths? You will have ammonia spikes. So what's gonna happen? You're gonna lose your whole colony. That's why I suggest find someone to access your premises and look after your shrimp. What you will have to do in the weeks prior to your departure is to boost the existence of biofilm in your tanks. This will increase the microfood available for your shrimp and especially for any baby shrimp that you might have. This will be your invincible fail-safe when it comes to food. Products which will help you to achieve this are Bacter AE by Glass Garden, Biozyme by GenChem, BT9 by Mosura, Biotas Active by Shrimp King, Magic Powder by SL Aqua, and a few more which I will review in future videos. So if you want, guys, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon and you will receive notification for any upcoming videos. In order to maximize the biofilm in your tank, you can add leaf litter. Microorganisms will start growing on these leaves, which your shrimp will consume. You can speed up the process or boost the biofilm creation with any of the biofilm products mentioned earlier. I added 3 to 4 Indian almond leaves in each of my tanks. The leaves themselves are a food source for our shrimp, however, they will consume them slowly. A very basic thing that you must do before you leave is to perform a water change. This will ensure that your tanks are low on nitrates and that there is some room for fluctuation should they go up due to excess of food decaying in there. In order to ensure that there will not be a nitrate spike in your tanks, your best allies are any floating plants like duckweed, frogweed, water lettuce and others, but also terrestrial plants like the Poso plant. These plants consume nitrates and maintain balance in the tank. So it is a good idea to have them growing in your tanks. Another thing I personally always do is to prepare treated water just in case my shrimp keeper has to perform a water change. Another point when it comes to water change, guys, make sure that the water level in your tanks is as high as possible, as in your absence there will be water evaporation due to summer heat or due to the heater in your tank during winter time. Evaporation will be significant if your tanks have no lid. Your shrimp will have to continue their normal routine, and the same stands with your plants. Ensure that you have timers set up for the tank lights to switch on and off daily. Depending on the season and location, you will have to keep the temperature stable. For cold weather, you will need heaters up and running. However, when it comes to summer season, if you're keeping Caridina shrimp, you will probably be okay, as these guys can tolerate higher temperatures. However, when it comes to Caridinas, you will need fans and chillers to keep the temperatures down, as these guys will struggle. I have chillers cooling down my Caridina tanks as it can get pretty hot in Sydney. It is very important not to trouble the person who will be looking after a shrimp with many details. You cannot expect them to come into your premises and look for what kind of food they're gonna feed. each of your tanks, unless you have just one type of food for just one tank, which is pretty much straightforward. So what I've done, I marked on the glass of each aquarium a number or a nickname. So it's aquarium number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 90 liter whatsoever. And I have corresponding Ziploc bags, small satchels, where I've already prepared the portions that she will have to feed into every tank. So on the 3rd of November, she will have to come here and feed satchel number 1 to tank number 1. So she just opens the satchel and drops the food. That's it. Same with tank number 2, 3, 4, 5, 90 liter. Easy, super easy. Besides finding someone to look after your shrimp and preparing all the food that they will have to feed to your shrimp whenever you tell them to come into your house, I went the extra mile, and probably in a previous video you've seen me reviewing this webcam. So I got just one to test if I will be able to see what's happening in the aquariums, and yes, I was quite happy. So I got a second one, and I'm gonna set them up right in front of the tanks. So at any given moment I will be able to check what's happening in my tanks remotely. In the event that something goes wrong midweek when my friend is not gonna be here, I'm just gonna give her a call, and within 2 hours, 3 hours, she'll be here and take action. For this reason, I've also trained her on how to perform water changes, remove dead shrimp from the tanks, and whatsoever. So this is a very good idea, and like I said, they're not really expensive. If you want to see the review, go to this link. Okay, so I've left the best for last. Before we get to this, I'm first gonna show you this. So as you can see here, I have the tanks. So you have seen in my previous videos that I have a big tank with 4 dividers, which gives me 5 partitions, and I'm not filling it up to the top. Its capacity is around 220 liters, but I'm filling it up to 180 liters. Therefore, I have the 180 liter partition 1, partition 2, partition 3, 4, 5, and my 90 liter tank. And over here you can see the dates on which my friend will have to come here and feed my shrimp. Every column has a different type of food, or the same, but whatever you see here, I'm feeding to every partition or tank. So same type of food. However, the only thing that changes are the quantities based on the size of each colony in every tank. Now, what I'm gonna show you has been tested last month as I replicated this entire feeding process when I was still at home. This way I made sure that the portions dropped in each tank are enough to keep my shrimps alive and that will not remain uneaten for more than 2 days at a time, causing major ammonia, nitrate and nitrate spikes. And as mentioned earlier, my floating plants, and especially my pothos plant that I have in every tank, will suck up any excess of nutrients in the water and help me to manage any increase in nitrates. Furthermore, the Indian almond leaves are always a passive source of food for our shrimp, and I have sufficient biofilm in each tank as I started adding Bacter AE, which is this one, 2 months ago. So earlier today I tested my tanks for nitrate levels, and the water is almost perfect in every single tank. So I will be away from the 29th of October to the 23rd of November. During the first week, snow pops will be dropped into the tank as they do not pollute the water if left uneaten. So even if some are left there, that is absolutely fine. This buys me a week without pollution from the 29th to the 5th, and any remains found from the shrimp even after 2 or 3 weeks will be eaten. This is my food of choice from the 29th of October to the 5th of November. On the 29th of October, besides snow pops, Bacter AE will be added in the tank. The shrimp will go for it first, and some will leave the pops for the following day, which again buys me some more time when it comes to food. Now, on the 9th of November, I will serve protein-based food in all my tanks, as protein helps females to formulate healthy eggs, and I do have quite some females in all my tanks. On the 12th and the 16th of November, my shrimp will have my very own homemade food, which dissolves in the water slowly and does not pollute the water as much as other types of food. Besides, they really go insane for this type of food. Furthermore, I will again bump up the biofilm by injecting Bacter AE for the second time. Something that I forgot to mention, my homemade food contains greens, and I want my shrimp to have a balanced diet in my absence. For the same reason, on the 19th of November, over here, I will give to my Shrimp King Complete. I'm very happy with this food. They seem to like it, so I'm just gonna go with it. Now, my friend will come one last time on the 23rd of November, just to feed the shrimp with granules. On the 24th of November, I will be back home, and that is why there will be no reason to overfeed them on the 23rd of November. As you can see, I have spaced the feedings equally on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Tuesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. And just slightly increase the portions to reflect any population increase since when I first tested this whole method. So I believe this process is bulletproof. Once again, if you like my video so far, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to receive notifications for new exciting videos coming your way. So this is how I prepared the Ziploc satchels, and each one of them corresponds to a specific date and tank. As you can see at the bottom row here, all these satchels correspond to my 90 liter tank. These satchels correspond to the big tank, and because I have 4 dividers, which effectively give me 5 partitions in that tank, for each date I have 5 satchels. I'm gonna leave these over here, and I am ready to go on holidays. Once back, we're gonna see how the tanks are doing after almost a month, so stay tuned for the next video. If you have any questions, leave your message in the comment section below, and I will do my best to answer your questions. Stay tuned and see you in a month. Take care.